Your list is bleeding, subscribers, open rates flatlining, engagement dropping. We're here to help my newsletter. Stat! Emergency intervention for underperforming newsletters.
Here's something I've noticed. Most newsletter operators migrate to Beehiiv and immediately start sending emails. Import the list, flip the switch, we're live. But 3 weeks later, they're wondering why their segments aren't working the way they expected, or why their engagement metrics feel off. And here's the thing. It's not because Beehiiv doesn't work. It's actually incredibly powerful. It's because Beehiiv gives you so much flexibility that if you don't set things up intentionally from day one, you can create some data headaches for yourself down the road. So today I'm walking you through the migration playbook that'll save you from those headaches entirely. Think of this as the setup checklist nobody tells you about, but everyone wishes they'd known. I'm Jen, and this is Help My Newsletter. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, your import file. This is where most of your future success gets determined, and a lot of people rush through it. Here's what you want in your CSV before you upload. Email address, obviously, but also status, clearly marked as subscribed or unsubscribed. Opt-in timestamp, so you know when people joined. Source, so you know how they joined. And any tags you've been using to segment your list. Now, here's the move that'll save you a ton of trouble. Import your unsubscribed contacts as unsubscribed. I know it's tempting to just leave them out entirely, but trust me on this. Upload them with unsubscribed status so Beehiiv knows to suppress them permanently. This prevents accidental sins and keeps your list hygiene clean from the start. After your import runs, spot check a handful of email addresses. Search for them manually in Beehiiv and verify their status and tags landed correctly. This 5-minute audit can catch issues before they multiply. All right, next up, and this is a subtle one, let's talk about how you build your engaged clickers segment. Most email platforms, including Beehiiv, log an unsubscribe click as both an unsubscribe event and a click event, which makes sense from a data perspective. They did click a link. But it means if you build a segment that's just clicked any link in the last 30 days, you're accidentally including people who clicked to unsubscribe. So your monetization emails, your re-engagement campaigns, they're going to a segment that's partially people who've already opted out, and your click-through rates get inflated in a way that doesn't reflect actual engagement. The fix is simple. When you build your engaged clicker segment, add a filter that excludes URLs containing unsubscribe, opt-out, your preference center path, or your list unsubscribe host. In Beehiiv, that looks like clicked any link in last 30 days and URL does not contain, and then list those terms. Now you've got a true engaged audience, people who clicked because they wanted more, not because they wanted out. Keep a separate segment for unsubscribed clicks if you want to monitor that behavior, but don't let it contaminate your engagement data. Now let's talk about your welcome series, because Beehiiv gives you 2 ways to welcome new subscribers, and you need to pick one. There's the single welcome email. It's quick, it's simple, one message fires when someone subscribes. And then there's the welcome automation, a multi-step sequence you can build with triggers and delays and all kinds of sophistication. Both are great, but if you turn on both, new subscribers get hit with your welcome message twice. It looks sloppy, it annoys people, and you're wasting your highest engagement window. So choose one path. If you're building a multi-email welcome automation, disable the single welcome email feature. And then, this is important, send yourself a few test signups to make sure new subscribers are only getting one welcome sequence. Now here's the pro move for your welcome automation. Tag everything. When someone opens your first welcome email, add a tag like opened welcome 1. When they click any link in the series, tag them clicked welcome any. If they click your specific offer, tag them clicked offer welcome. Why does this matter? Because later, when you want to segment people who engage with your welcome series, you can just filter by tag. It's instant, it's clean, and it's reliable. And I should mention, Beehiiv recently made it so you can segment by open activity and quick activity solely within your welcome messages. You'll need to scroll in your segment filters to find it, but it's there. That said, Tagging gives you more granular control and makes it easier to track specific emails and specific behaviors. Once your migration is clean and your welcome series is tagged, you can build some really smart segments. Engaged newcomers. These are people tagged as clicked welcome any who are in their first 10 days. Maybe they also clicked any link recently. This is your hot audience. Route them to your best content or your monetization funnel immediately. Didn't open welcome. These are people with no open welcome tag and no opens in the last 10 days. Send them a lighter nudge, a different angle, see if you can get their attention. Post-welcome buyers. People tagged as clicked offer welcome or visited your pricing page. These folks are showing buying signals. Get them into a sales sequence fast. The beauty of setting this up properly from the start is that your segments become predictive, not reactive. You're not guessing who's engaged. You know because you tagged the behavior when it happened. So what should you be watching in your first month on beehiiv? First vital, make sure your unsubscribed clicks are excluded from your engagement segments. If you're still including unsubscribe URLs in your clickers filter, fix that today. Second, double send rate should be 0. No new subscriber should get both your welcome email and your welcome automation. Third, welcome tag coverage. At least 95% of people entering your welcome series should have tags applied. If that number's lower, check your automation setup. Fourth, your click-through rate on your cleaned human clickers segment should trend up. Once you're filtering out unsubscribes and focusing on real engagement, your CTR should improve because you're measuring actual reader interest. Does this actually make a difference? Yes. I talked to a growth lead from a 140K subscriber newsletter who just migrated. Here's what they said. Excluding unsubscribe URLs from the clickers cut that segment by 12%, but revenue per 1,000 readers rose. Think about that. They lost 12% of their engaged audience, but made more money because that 12% were people who had unsubscribed or were barely engaged. They were noise. Once they focused on actual human engagement, monetization got way more efficient. Same publisher said, tagging welcome events made post-launch segments instantly reliable. No more trying to reconstruct who did what in week 1. The data was just there, clean and ready to use. So, bottom line, beehiiv is an incredibly powerful platform. You can do so much with segments and automations and data tracking. But that power means you need to be intentional about your setup. Import clean data with status and timestamps. Exclude unsubscribe URLs from your engagement filters. Tag your welcome series so you can segment on it later. Choose one welcome path to avoid double sends. And audit your first 30 days to make sure everything's working as expected. Do those 5 things, and you'll skip the headaches most people don't realize they're creating until it's too late. If you want the full migration playbook with import templates, tag maps, and segment recipes, I've got a free PDF for you. Links in the show notes. I'm Jen, and this is Help My Newsletter. We publish every week with tactical newsletter advice that actually works. If this was helpful, subscribe wherever you're listening. See you next week.